Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hannah's blog. Um, I thought I would do just a couple of weeks spin off of one off of politics and stuff, talking about politicians and stuff like that there at the minute because it seems like it's everybody's good interest at the minute with protocol and everything that's going on with Northern Ireland and Scotland and things like that there. A lot of the United Kingdom's in jeopardy at the minute. So what we'll do is I'll give you a brief rundown of what's I've been looking into and reading into about the politics and what affects Northern Ireland and what affects Scotland and stuff like that. So I want to welcome you all there. So as I say, it's just a brief see where the channel wants to go, if it wants to go down this way or not. It's just a sort of sideline to give more information on what people want to know about Northern Ireland, Scotland, and the United Kingdom, where it's all going on. So, give me a wee second till I see what. So, the way I've been looking into it is as far as Scotland's going and the referendum, we'll talk about that for about 5 minutes or so. Scotland and the referendum. The thing is, Nicola Sturgeon's got her head so far up her ass that she's willing to crawl in back to the EU and look into, oh, we want to join you, we want to do this. The EU do not want anything to do with either Northern Ireland or we call it is Scotland or Wales. It wants England. So I don't know why Nicola Sturgeon is getting her head so far up her ass that she wants a referendum. The thing is, a referendum will do worse for Scotland. Scotland rely financially benefit more in England. England provide a lot more to help for Scotland, and it's part of the United Kingdom. It's it's part of the establishment. It's part of what it's supposed to do. It's the same with England. It provides money for Northern Ireland as well as we provide money for ourselves. That's what the United Kingdom does. It's the same with Wales. And Nicola Sturgeon wants to break that up. Why did she want to break it up? Because she just thinks that Scotland could do a lot better. It can't. She's smoking too much crap and sort of listening to too much of what's going on behind her. Nicola Sturgeon needs to realise and wake and smell of coffee that being part of the United Kingdom is a lot better for Scotland. Not for just for trade and stuff like that there. Like United Kingdom have just purchased just gotten financial benefits of 1.9 trillion pounds worth of trade. That's 74 trade deals for the United Kingdom within the next maybe 10 to 20 years. And Nicola Sturgeon wants to break that up. And she wants to say, oh, I want to join the European Union. Well, I have to hand her and say, go on, do you know what? If that's the way you want it, you miss out on opportunities, you miss out on the financial benefits that comes with you. A lot of jobs being prospered, the NHS be able to build on its coronavirus vaccines, help them make more vaccines, help them make a lot more for the agriculture department. Already alone at the minute, coming to the UK, Canada wants to do a trade deal with agriculture. America's maybe looking into it. Australia's looking at made a trade deal with us. New Zealand's looking at a trade deal with us with agriculture. Do you know what that means? That means a lot more trade with farmers between the wider nations. India's already made a trade deal which is nearly £1 trillion worth of a deal. So I just don't understand why someone wants to break that up and sort of turn it back on the UK. Scotland is not better off on its own. It will never be better off on its own. It's better being part of the United Kingdom. Financially benefits more. Uh, the Scotland economy is in the black at the minute. It's the deficit's minus. It's minus 20 billion pounds or 20 million or something like that, and it's not financially stable. It can't be. It just can't be. There's not enough coming into Scotland for it to be independent. Right, that's where Scotland lies, and I just don't see. I think anybody who's watching this and from Scotland, back the UK government up. Boris Johnson, now he's not perfect, but he's done well for what he's been able to do. Um, he's looked after the UK the best interest that he has. Now, going on to Northern Ireland, and I just think some of the faults are in Northern Ireland's politics itself. Now, if it was me looking to sort of before the trade deal, before Brexit even happened, what DUP and we should have done is signed a deal that benefits the DUP and being able to establish the DUP and say, right, hold on, this backfires you. We have a deal. We have a signed agreement that this does not happen. But typical DUP, they don't do it. They didn't do it. Why did they not do it? Because they believed on a verbal agreement. Anybody who knows anything about business, you do not do anything on a verbal agreement. You do it on signed agreement. You go to your lawyers. You make sure that everything is done through a signed agreement, and it backfires. You can take it to the county courts. You can take it to the high courts, and it's signed and sealed. That's the way it should have been done. That's the way that Northern Ireland should have been able to prevent a protocol. It should have been able to prevent a backstop. Now, the only way that I could see maybe could benefit Northern Ireland, get rid of the backstop, and what you can't do is have a checkpoint border at Newry and Donegal. What a checkpoint border would be is, say, for instance, you have your slip roads and stuff like that there, build an extension slip roads, and you have your border force within Northern Ireland and the Republic checking you the goods, checking what's coming through, and there's no disruption to Northern Ireland's economy, there's no disruption to the Republic's economy, and the EU can stick their arse where the sun don't shine. Because the reason why also they're holding Northern Ireland ransom is because they want England back in the European Union. We are we are being treated as a trademark. And the sooner that the DUP wake up and smell of coffee and the rest of the election party that is the reason why Northern Ireland is stuck where it is. And these protests are going on, the peaceful protests, keep them going. Because that's the only way that you're going to get people, the politicians, waking up and smelling the coffee. I am not all for violence. I don't think violence helps out. Peaceful protests and helping out doing that is the best way to do anything. It's within our laws, within the British government laws, we are allowed to hold a peaceful protest. It's within the establishment, and it's in with our legal rights, and it's within our human rights that we are eligible and we are able to do that. But if we went over the European Union, we're not allowed to do that. Already, there's been hells within the European Union that's no your so-called army. We're not going to have an army. It's going to be a European army. The only way you rely on the British forces and stuff like that, it's not going to be like that. European army are going to be established with themselves within the next 2 years. And that means anybody who's involved within the European Union, they're not going to be established with NATO. NATO is not going to be established with itself within Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK. So that means Scotland as well. It means Wales and all that, and England. NATO is not going to be a function anymore. It's going to be a European army. It means it's going to have to establish itself under European rules and European government. That's the way that things are going to go. Now, I've gone on long enough. Hopefully, it hopefully gives you a wee bit of a brief detail on what Northern Ireland needs to do for itself. DUP need to step up a gear and move in and say, right, here's ideas what we have, and speak to the European Commissions and say, this is the way we want to do it. Speak to Boris Johnson, say to him what we can see where the light at the end of the tunnel. Get rid of the protocol. The only way that you are going to get rid of the protocol is if you stand firm. Be peaceful in your protests if you are doing them. Look after yourself. Do not cause any harm to anybody. The more harm you give to anybody else, it gives you a bad name, especially if kids and all are involved. You've got to look towards your future. So please look after yourself. As I say, if you want to join the channel and subscribe, please do. Look after yourselves and enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. Thank you. All the best.